I would like to welcome you to the second annual Monona Grove Education Foundation Gala. My name is Jennifer Pickle, and on behalf of the foundation, thank you for coming tonight. Before we get started, I would like to introduce our board of directors. Please stand when I announce your name. Our president, John Weinberger. Our treasurer, Ed Young. Our secretary, Mary O'Connor. And our board members, Jay Kiefer, Sue Carr, Kathy Thomas, Jane Beebe, Andrew Kitzlar, our emeritus, Gordon McChesney and Larry Schmidt, and our ex officio members, Dan Olson, our superintendent, and our school board rep, Susan Manning. We have one member who is not here, Bill Ramaker. He's our vice president and couldn't be with us tonight. This board has worked tirelessly for the benefit of our school district, and it has been my distinct honor to be a part of that. Our work has grown into a two-pronged approach. In 2010, the foundation set out to establish endowment funds for Taylor Prairie, Cottage Grove School, Winnequa School, Glacial Drumlin, and Monona Grove High School. As we gather here tonight, I am proud to say that not only has that goal been achieved, but 3 schools are already receiving proceeds from those endowments. Imagine, from this point on, each school will be guaranteed a source of income from its endowment fund forever. As the principal grows, so grows the income that each school can depend on. That's incredibly powerful. The main original goal of the foundation, however, is to provide grant money for our teachers and staff, and this is one of the reasons we gather here tonight. Our grant season begins on October 15th and ends on December 31st. After a series of reviews by our superintendent, building principals, and the foundation's grants committee, the successful applicants are chosen and the grants are awarded in the spring. Tonight we have our 4 successful candidates from the 2013-2014 grant season. Our superintendent, Mr. Dan Olson, will introduce our winners.
Thank you, Jennifer. I'd like to begin, first of all, by thanking our foundation and the tremendous support that they provide for our educational programs. The grant award program has just been outstanding. You'll hear shortly, from our recipients on how they've used it and ultimately to provide programming, for our students. We all know that we have challenges, with budgets in public education, and the fact that they're able to stick true to their mission and fund these special programs that oftentimes would be very difficult for us to do otherwise in our general funding of our schools has just been tremendous. And a number of these programs are either programs that put things in place, sometimes they're pilot programs that lead to bigger and better things, and it's been going on for many years, and like I said, you'll be very impressed when you hear from our teachers here in a minute. I also like to take this opportunity to personally thank everyone who's been able to attend tonight. This is just a tremendous event. Again, the foundation members who have put in unbelievable number of hours in organizing this to, again, recognize not only as a fundraiser, but recognize the achievements of our outstanding staff. So with that, we'd like to introduce our first presentation tonight, and a number of our grant applications are done collaboratively by a group or a pair of teachers to be done through a grade level or a department and so on, and that's the case with our first group. So our first presenters are teachers from Cottage Grove School, John Hagan and Cheryl Barrick.
All right, good evening, everyone. Thank you very much, first of all, for affording us the opportunity to go ahead with our project. So you can see on the screen, we have a little presentation put together for you. Hopefully this works. All right, here we go. So our project had to deal with differentiated math instruction. We thought that was a very important area for us to focus on in the 4th grade at Cottage Grove School. In order to achieve that, we thought, what a great way to do that by getting some licensing through IXL.com. And that's an online program that offers comprehensive math strategies and practice for students. It contains over 3,500 different strands and topics in math, ranging from pre-kindergarten all the way up to 9th grade algebra. The great thing about it is that the questions never repeat. It's all based on an algorithm, so a student will never see the same question more than once. It also offers a huge variety of analysis tools for teachers, and there's a great home connection as well. Parents can log in and see how their students are progressing. Some of the key features of IXL, one of the biggest things that the students enjoy is the ability to earn different charms and get different awards as they continue their progress with the work they're doing on specific skills. Also, the nice thing is if a student should happen to make a mistake, it gives a detailed explanation as to why the mistake occurred and how they can fix it and the appropriate steps to make in order to achieve success. Again, there's a plethora of reports, status reports, usage reports, hot topic areas maybe where particular students are having trouble. So it gives a huge amount of information for teachers to look through and really help identify key areas to promote student success. Here's just a screenshot of what teachers can see in some of the reports. This particular shot shows student usage as a pie chart, so it gives you a quick view of what are some of the areas students are particularly focusing on. It also gives a breakdown towards the bottom you can see of specific skills students are working on, how much time they've spent on them, and where they are according to the rubric on the website. So if they're proficient, if they need more practice, things like that. So it gives, again, a huge amount of information. And now I'm going to turn it over to Cheryl to talk about some of the results.
Oh, you can see me, that's good. So, as Mr. Hagan was saying, our fourth grade classrooms, Ms. Haas, Mr. Hagan, and my class used this program, and we had a wide range of students, students with IEPs, English language learners, and a writ range or student data that ranged from probably a second grade level to an 8th grade level. So it really supported a lot of different students. The best part about this program, I think, is the immediate feedback and engagement that kids have. They really like the technology piece, but it's a purposeful technology that we use. Some kids need more to meet their growth goals, so we really encourage them to go to different grade levels. And then there are some kids who are a little behind as far as grade level goals, and so it allows us to go down a grade level and give them, kind of fill in their gaps, so to speak, so that they can make growth and become on grade level. Our student outcomes were 60% of students met their MAP growth goals, so they have a starting point and an ending point that they're trying to make every year. And then 60% of our students met their status goals for MAP testing, and that's a score for each grade level that says these kids are on the right track for college and career readiness, so that's very good. It's very aligned with our district goals as well. Okay. This is a picture of Mr. Hagen's students using that, and as you can see, kids are using different tools on the side, like notebooks and things, but it's very engaging for kids. It's right where they need to be. It's targeted, and it's individual learning, almost like an individual learning plan for students in math. And we use this, and some of us still use it, to look at kids at their level, and then the reports tell us how they're doing. So it's immediate feedback for kids, which is hard to do when there's 24 kids and one teacher. The other piece that we haven't talked about yet is the way this is written and the algorithms are written. It's critically, it's a lot of critical thinking skills, and it's aligned with Common Core. So the the format of it helps them with standardized tests and practice and the kind of skills that they need to be successful kind of in this new math era. We just want to say how much we appreciate the opportunity to use this program and pilot it. There are a lot of different programs out there like IXL that a lot of other teachers are using now, since we've had the opportunity to look at this one and kind of branch out to the rest of the Cottage Grove school community. So again, we just really appreciate the opportunity. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, John and Cheryl. And you got a short glimpse of the type of things that are happening in our schools. We have many people in the room tonight that we have a number of educators, a number of you that work directly with our schools, and it's probably not a surprise what you heard. Those of you that haven't had an opportunity to be directly involved, it's something that we're extremely proud of in Monona Grove School District. We look at not only the collaboration of our teachers, but the concept that Cheryl just talked about of the individual learning that goes on. It's not a matter of just presenting curriculum, and it's really getting down to meet the needs of every individual child. And again, the support in this particular program is just another tool that helps our teachers do the tremendous job that they do every day. Our next presenter is Bob Schlafer, middle school science teacher, and is going to talk about a little bit different project that he did this past year.
Thank you, Mr. Olson. So I'm Bob Schlafer. I've been teaching science in the district for over 20 years. I'd like to personally congratulate Lori Naherniak on being honored tonight, by the way. She has nurtured, yeah, how about it? I know I'm not supposed to do this, but I'm up on this front table, so I guess I can. She's nurtured the creative talents of many of the MG students through the years, including my own son. Thank you also to the MG Education Foundation for the ongoing support of the outdoor projects I've led at various sites in our communities. This is not the first time our middle school at both GDS and Winnetka School has received funds for the MG Foundation for restoration projects. There's a quote that I often use when talking about the prairie restorations we've done. It goes like this: tell me, I forget. Show me, I remember. Involve me, I understand. By having our middle schoolers involved in the steps in restoration, they get a unique experience to understand how to preserve this rare and precious ecosystem that I'm so passionate about. I just got a couple slides. I hope this works. Yeah! Every year since 2008, seventh graders from GDS have added 300 to 1,000 square feet of native wildflowers and grasses to this site. A few years ago, the student body helped name our project. As you can see, it's called Hawks Field. Last fall, we held our annual seed stomp. This involved seventh grade students spreading native prairie seeds and stomping them into the soil. The stomping action simulated what bison do hundreds of years ago. Here's a picture of students doing the stomp, and we've got a little mascot for the classroom named Barbalut the Bison from Dr. Seuss's The Lorax. In the spring, students added 300 native plants to Hawks Field. The grant we received from the foundation helped pay for the plants the students planted in the prairie. We used the rest of the money to pay for presentations by David Stokes. David Stokes is a very engaging naturalist and educator. His presentations were about the adaptations of the animals of Wisconsin's prairies. Here's a picture of some students with a snake, and David showing the students a turtle. This last part might not work. Oh, maybe it will, I'm not sure. This school year, all seventh grade students were involved in the selection of plants for the prairie. Some of the students also created presentations that will be shown to local civic groups to raise money for plants to be put in the prairie this spring by all the seventh graders. If this would run, this would have been a video that a student made where he featured how precious the native tall grass prairies are to Wisconsin, and he made a plea for for money. So some of you that are in civics groups will probably see this presentation later. Thank you, the foundation, for the project that we've done.
Thank you, Bob. Again, yeah, just another example of just a tremendous opportunity for our students and the hands-on learning that is so critical for our youth today. Our next presenter is Rebecca Fox-Blair from one of our high school, our alternative charter schools, MG21, and Rebecca will talk about a particular project that they did this past year, one of many unbelievable things that they have done over the years with the students in that program. So, Rebecca Fox-Blair.
I don't have a slideshow, I'm sorry. Hello, I'm Rebecca Fox-Blair. I'm the Executive Director of MG21. If you don't know about us, MG21, or the Monona Grove Liberal Arts Charter School for the 21st Century, is the project-based charter school that serves 40 to 50 students in grades 9-12 for the Monona Grove School District. Our mission is to provide a student-centered educational community for independent learners, which is designed to give students the skills to walk their path in life. MG21 students are typically seeking a different and smaller learning environment that more effectively meets their educational needs and their learning styles. Community is the heart of MG21, and we believe that a critical piece to creating community is giving students a voice. One day, the staff at MG21 was sitting around and discussing the fact that we wished that our school had more student leaders, and we had an aha moment. We realized that in order to have student leaders, we had to provide leadership opportunities and training for our students. We had to teach them how to be leaders. And so we wrote a grant to the MGEF. Our grant focused on developing a student leadership committee whose purpose would be to assist staff in improving school climate and building community within our school. Our grant focused on developing a specifically students would work with staff to address community concerns within our school and develop strategies to address them. They would play a pivotal role in using restorative justice practices when conflicts arose, and this student leadership committee would make up an integral part of our MG21 community. Last year, our leadership team met every Wednesday for leadership lunch. It was made up of 10 students across the grades. Students use this time to plan and organize weekly all-school community activities, including service projects such as working at the Second Harvest Food Pantry, participating in Youth Service Day, work days in our school garden, and planning activities and games and leading all-school discussions. The leadership team helped us address concerns within our community in a proactive way and develop positive solutions. Over this past year, our leadership team has evolved. Our team has become more than just a meal and a discussion. We've created a written application process for students and held a summer training retreat. Students have defined their own roles on the team, and we have a president and a secretary. Additionally, they're in charge of getting information out to the community about our school through our newsletter and our Facebook page. They've helped lead our new orientation for new students this fall, and they facilitate our all-school Friday community meetings. But most importantly, we've noticed a shift in our school culture. Our students have embraced the importance of projecting a positive image on the community. They act as ambassadors for our school. They're out raking leaves, setting up the book fair at the library, working in our school garden, and sharing our produce. And they feel proud of our school, and they want to share who we are. This year, our leadership team will continue their training. Students will attend conferences, including the Rotary Club's Ethics Symposium, and hopefully participate in the YMCA's Restorative Justice Circle Keeper training. What we have found was that our students were hungry for this opportunity to step up and be leaders, and we thank the MGEF tremendously for helping give our students a voice and a chance to be leaders and make a difference. Additionally, I also want to say congratulations to Lori Naherniak for being honored here tonight. Thank you.
Thank you, Rebecca. And again, of the many, many programs and that we have in our school district that we're so proud of. MG21 is certainly one of those shining stars, and it's an unbelievable school, and then the students as well. I'm fortunate that the school is located in the Nichols School, which is part of the district office building, where I'm at every day, and so I have an opportunity to visit the school on a regular basis, and I've never ceases to amaze me when I meet the students and see what they do. It's truly tremendous. And again, through this grant opportunity, through the foundation, here's another example of just an unbelievable program that we know the foundation helped get off the ground this first year, that we know will continue for many years to come and have an impact on many students. Our last presenters this evening are another example of a collaborative effort, and not only do we have teachers that collaborate within grade levels departments. Here's an example of teachers working across different departments coming together to serve the needs of students. We have with us tonight Jeff Otto, who is a technology education teacher, and Nicole Hafley, a high school math teacher, who collaborated on a project that was funded by the foundation this past year.
Thank you so much. I would want to start by saying thank you to the MGEF for our grant money. I don't want to forget, so I'm going to put that out there right away, because we've been able to do a lot of really cool things, and we wouldn't be able to do that without your support. So where we started, a few years ago, some of the science, technology, and math educators from both the middle school and high school kind of got together, and we started talking about our classes. We noticed a few things like the lack of girls in lots of technology and engineering classes. And as you know, hopefully, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, STEM fields, are one of the highest growing fields in the nation. And they're predicting shortfalls in lots of different areas of STEM. So seeing this disconnect between our students and fields where they're needed, we started doing more research. And so our goal really was to increase interest in STEM-related careers at an early age, so we're not catching students when they get to high school, but try to get them at a younger age so that they know this is an option for them. And we were really drawn to the engineering as elementary curriculum for a few reasons. One is that its main goal is to engage students in the engineering design process. So they make a plan, they do their plan, and then they revise their plan to make it better. So this continual process of learning and growing, I think, is really neat. It's also aligned with the next generation science standards and the international technology and engineering standards. So it's really well integrated into, if you missed that, it was funny. It just popped. It's integrated across curriculum, or across department and curriculums.
Okay, so where we are right now, of course my notes just went off. That doesn't. I think it was 2014, the summer before this past one. Thank you. What would I do without this? Okay, so in the summer of 2014, we had started out by introducing one new STEM course into the summer school offerings in the 3rd to 5th grade level, which was robotics. We ran sessions both at Winnequa and we ran some out in Cottage Grove as well, very well attended. We then expanded upon that by, again, using the engineering as elementary curriculum to develop a couple new courses, one of which was Take Flight and the other one which is environmental science. Both of those ran this year. They were very well attended. I think we ran 4 sections both of all these courses at both Cottage Grove and in Monona. I think, where's the clicker? Yeah. Okay. This is just some pictures that we took of them doing the robotics. We had students that would program the robots to do various things like follow lines around the room or to dance when the lights went off. But the end-all goal was to, learn the programming, and then what they would do is they'd build a mini golf course, making an obstacle out of the Legos. So we had little golf putters and ping pong balls, and the object then, of course, would be to get your ball through the course, passing the obstacle. So we had a lot of different designs there. Speak to that.
And so the Take Flight course really had three major components. The first, students made kites, and they investigated what shapes for kites work the best and if tails worked better or what you could use for string. And so they were revising their kites and trying to make them better so that they would fly. They also made hot air balloons. I don't have a picture of that, but it was super cool. And then the highlight for I think all of the students was making rockets and getting to shoot them off. They absolutely loved it. They talked about it for weeks leading up to it, and that's all they talked about that day. It was very cool. And then in environmental science, we focused on harnessing the wind to get energy. So we investigated a lot about wind, but then we also were able to purchase these windmill kits, and students designed their own wind turbines to try to make them do work. So they tried to make them light up little LED bulbs, or they had to lift a cup of pennies, and they got to investigate what number of blades worked the best, if the shape made a difference, which ones spinned the best, and they got to see their classmates trying things and then revise their plan based on that. And then the second half, we talked about solar energy and getting energy from the sun, and the highlight of that for students was making solar ovens and using them to make s'mores. I didn't tell them that the marshmallows would melt in the sun no matter what. But we talked a lot about making sure that they have insulation and why the insulation is important, and having a reflector to catch the sun's rays. And then they added all of those things into their solar ovens. I forgot about the solar cars. And then we also had these little solar car kits that each student made a solar car, and then we raced them. Again, using just energy from the sun, which is very cool. And so then where we're headed. In addition to the MGF grant, we were able to write, and we have received a Burby grant to help expand our summer school offerings even further. So we're hoping to expand environmental science to include things like water filtration and ecosystems, cleaning environmental spills, things like that. We also are hoping to add computer science, more programming using the Raspberry Pis or other programming things. And then we've talked about a little bit biomedical engineering or architectural engineering, just ways that we can expose lots of students to lots of different types of STEM careers. So again, we would like to thank the MGF and all of you for all of your support.
Hey, thank you, Jeff and Nicole. Again, I think our educators, the work that they do, it speaks for themselves. And this is, these are among certainly our best and brightest. We have many, many educators just as talented as this group that joined us here tonight. And when we look at, providing these opportunities for our students, and that's, I guess, where my role comes in, is to find a way to help find the resources so that these teachers can do, these wonderful things with our students. And this is a big part of it, this event tonight, and the foundation and assisting us in that work to find those resources. So again, thank you all very much, and congratulations on the work that you have done. Okay. Now I have the pleasure of introducing our foundation president, who's going to speak a few words, John Weinberger.
Thank you very much, Dan. I'll make this very brief. Jennifer, our Gala organizer, likes to run a very tight ship, and we've got a whole room full of teenage kids that are ready to go. So I'd like to thank you all very much for coming out tonight. It's people like you showing up at these events that help us pay for the grants that these people have written. And they've all done a wonderful job. And for you people and also the other teachers that I know are out here, the grant season is open right now until December 31st of this year. Get your grant in. Don't be shy about, if you have gotten one in the past, of doing it again. I know that we have a couple of frequent flyers with us tonight, so keep up the good work and encourage your colleagues to do the same. Now, thank you to and Jennifer's committee too about the organization of this event. She had some busy bee helpers that helped her out tremendously. Jane Beebe, Sue Carr, Mary O'Connor, Kathy Thomas, and also our board rep, Susan Manning, all worked very, very hard on this to make this event possible tonight. So thank you, ladies. You did a great job. For next year, and we hope you come back next year, we have, I think it's 6 different grants that are in progress right now that vary all over the place, from something called wobbly chairs and stability balls for personalized learning at elementary level. We have a social justice initiatives and programs for middle school students in progress. We have probably the big one for this year is we are going to be sending all of our kindergarten students to Aldo Leopold Nature Center for a science outdoor field trip. The art department is going to be the beneficiary of some airbrushing equipment. And coming up next Tuesday, we are going to have an original orchestral piece for strings that was written and is in production right now at Glacial Drumlin School. The performance was 7 o'clock on the 17th, so if you're able to attend that at Glacial Drumlin School, it will be a unique opportunity to see the 7th and 8th grade strings and the music that they helped write for that program. And we also, with a project that has just been completed, we helped sponsor student travel to the Model UN international competition in Washington, D.C. That actually happened back in February. But those are the people that will be coming out next year at this time to tell you about their programs. And with that in mind, Jennifer, are you ready to go? Good. Thank you very much.
Thank you to all of you. What an amazing opportunity you have given to your colleagues and students. We thank you for your judicious use of your grant money, and we look forward to hearing new ideas in the future. On your tables, shameless plug, are brochures for the foundation. If you're interested in donating, please feel free to fill out the form or contact one of the board members. We'd be happy to help you out. We are going to move into the auditorium for the honoring of Lori Naherniak. Before we do that, just a little bit of business. We are going to be wrapping up our silent auction. And in your envelope are your seat assignments for the auditorium. We're going to have some ushers to help you if you're not sure where you're supposed to be at the door. I think Andrew and Sue are over there to help you out with that. But the silent auction winners will be announced after the program for Lori, so check that out afterwards. I think that's everything. Thank you for coming tonight, and on with the show. So once again, I would like to welcome you all. This night is all about celebration. We have celebrated the innovative, out-of-the-box work of our teachers, and now we would like to take time to celebrate our fine arts department. It would be hard to think of Monona Grove music without immediately thinking of Lori Naherniak. The two are absolutely synonymous. My fellow board members and I extend a most emphatic thank you to Lori for agreeing to this evening. As the Booster Club president and show choir mom of now 2 students here at MG, the times that I see Lori are in general amongst her busiest times. In general, she is flying to help this student or nail down this detail, or in general make the day's performance the best it can be. There is not much of a chance to tell her exactly how she has affected our family.
It's amazing how much effort she gives, and
That was not part of my speech. There's not much of a chance to tell her just... That wasn't part of it either. Just how exactly she has affected our family, but now I have her seated, and she can't leave, because that would be awkward. My husband and I are not MG natives. We moved here when our oldest child, Samantha, was 6 months old. We both had music as part of our upbringing, Mark a percussionist and myself in choir and show choir. We knew we wanted music to be a part of our kids' lives as well. I think it is quite fitting to say that we hit the jackpot when we landed here. I never could have imagined such an exceptional music education for our children. I asked Samantha recently, what has been the best part of having Miss N for a teacher? She barely hesitated and said, she gets me out of my comfort zone. I thought that was an amazing answer. When you look on the service, there were many possible answers. The quality of the music, the absolute show-stopping fantasticness of the show choir shows, her obvious passion for her work. She lets us bring treats to rehearsals on Sunday. The list goes on. I think it's truly a gift to not only get a high school student to get out of her comfort zone, but to have her recognize that you have done it. And that is what makes Lori special. She sees her students. She can pull out of them what they are capable of. After our son Tyler's first ever Silver Connection performance this past August, I spoke with Lori. She immediately commented on Tyler's facial expressions during the ballad. She sees each student and what makes them special. As a parent, I can't tell you how phenomenal it is to have a teacher pay that close attention to your child. So thank you, Lori. Thank you for seeing your students. Thank you for enhancing the music in their lives. Thank you for giving them a place to feel free to be themselves. We have a special program tonight, and we will start it off with a special video that Will, our media director, put together for us.
it's amazing how much effort she gives and how much she gives to the kids and how much time she gives up for everybody, just like out of her own time, just to basically help other people enjoy what they love doing, which is music.
What I really love about teaching is the progression of a 6-week concert cycle. On the first day, handing out music is complete chaos. Nobody knows their part. It sounds awful. And in the 6 weeks, seeing that progression of going just from notes on a page to creating music and something that is beautiful and works together, and the feeling of success that they get, that's what I love. So not necessarily the end product, but the journey of getting there. That's an awesome thing for me.
So I don't want you to stand like a statue because you are not made of cement, right? You are a human being with feeling. You're a human being with feeling. So I just want to start this again. I only want to start it, but I don't want to see you standing completely still. However, no choreographed motions, okay? Nothing. So it's just a little bit of moving, a tiny bit of moving. All right, let's try it again.
I love music because I think it's healing. It's helped me with like my confidence just in general, being able to get up and sing in front of a bunch of people, because freshman year I wouldn't have done any of the things that I'm doing right now.
I think us as educators really have to realize that we have to educate the whole person. we're not only educating in the core classes, but we're also educating in the physicality of students as well as the soul. And I think music feeds the soul. Students find a passion for music, and it gives them this euphoric feeling that they can't find in other classes.
Let's take it from the top, standing up, thinking about the part that we're moving in tempo, and the key change is louder.
I think she knows we can always do better, and I really want to do my best every day in choir because I want to live up to that expectation. And it's good knowing that someone really believes in you no matter what.
Music, it's basically something the whole family can connect with because we've all started with it since we were younger.
My number one person who is here helping me is my husband. We've been working together for 29 years, and he really is my rock. And he helps me lift all of those high standards that we have. Also, my accompanist, Farrah Bodden, she is another rock that I have, as well as all of the parents. The parents bend over backwards and spend so many hours volunteering in this program. And it takes a community to make our program successful. And I just want to thank all those people from the bottom of my heart, because they're the people who make me look successful.
Next up in our program is the time we've allotted for some speakers. We reached out to a few of Lori's old students, a foundation board member who is also a Booster Club president. So we're going to hear from them now. First up is Lauren Homburg, a former student and musician in her own right.
Hi, everybody. I'm Lauren Homburg. I'm a former student of Miss N's. Some of you might know me by my stage name, Lo Marie, and I'm fortunate enough to have maintained music in my life, and Miss N was a big part of why I've been able to do that. So thank you. I'm really honored to be here tonight celebrating. I knew from an early age that I loved music, so when my parents offered me the opportunity to switch schools my freshman year of high school and go to Edgewood, I turned it down. And I turned it down specifically because of Monona Grove's reputation of excellence in their music program. I hadn't had much interaction with Miss N at that point, but I had seen the musicals, namely Pirates of Penzance, and I was hooked. Once school started, two things became immediately clear and remain true today. She loves music, and she loves teaching just as much, which is a rare and special thing. She cares about excellence in performance, but strives for creativity and personal growth rather than perfection, and takes on so many projects just for the kids, too. One thing that has always astounded me about Miss N was how much faith she has in everything, in people, in students, parents, performances. She's excellent at delegating tasks and has all the faith in the world that those tasks will get done and get done well. And that to me is amazing, that she has the capability of having faith in people and not having to micromanage. And that might just be because her plate's so full that she doesn't have time to. But in any case, it's an amazing feat. One example of that faith is the week of the musicals. Tech and dress rehearsals, more often than not, are disastrous. And I think she has so much faith that she goes to bed the night before the show and wills opening night to happen. And miraculously, it does. Those were always my favorite moments, was the chaos before the creation. Her faith in people always made them work harder for her. Parents and students alike. And don't get me wrong, she would let you know if you gave a lazy performance or weren't holding up your weight. But that just made it even harder for you to disappoint her, because she had just the highest expectations for you, and letting her down was something you only did once because of how heart-wrenching it was. You know, check it off your bucket list, you tried it, it was horrible, never do it again. And so we were all held up to that high standard together, and that's really the kicker, is that what makes Monona Grove's music program so great is the community that she fosters. For me and a lot of my peers, the choir room was a grounding force, a foundation to stand on in the chaos of social life that is high school. It was a safe space, even for the weirdos and the music nerds like me. She was nurturing to all of her students, making them feel safe enough to step outside their boxes and try something new, just like Jennifer mentioned. And for high school students, that's huge. And it didn't matter what that new thing was, if it was trying out a new fake accent or trying out some dance steps that you'd never done before. Everything was okay. And better than that, everything was good. It was a place where people respected the music and respected each other, because we were all creating something together. Even though a lot of people came to music to find their own center and for the way it made them feel, Miss N made it a shared experience. You were part of a community that's bigger than yourself. And in an often competitive and sometimes cutthroat society, that's a really, really unique thing. It's easy to stumble into writing and playing music alone with your guitar in your bedroom. And you know, I still do that daily. It's my lifeline, it's my joy. But what Miss N taught me was that there is this vast source of creative energy that can be unleashed when you work with people, whether it's one person or a whole choir room full of them. It resulted in these spectacular musical events and taught us all the importance and joy of sharing in life. And that sharing didn't mean that you were out half of your peanut butter and jelly sandwich, but that you could create something you couldn't do alone and experience something you couldn't experience without people. We grew together. We learned to love and respect one another along the way, respecting each other's ideas, musical or not, loving their quirks and appreciating them for it. And we're all here tonight because we're a part of that community that Miss N has created and is the heartbeat of. So I want to close by saying thank you, Miss N, for all that you've done for me, for the kids that came up with me, and for all that I know you continue to do. You have touched my music-filled heartstrings, and I'm a better person for it.
Thank you so much, Lauren. Our next speaker is a former student of Lori's and liked it so much he stuck around, choreographing for our Silver Connection, Mr. Eric Gettner.
Hello, everyone. When Jennifer first approached me and asked if I wanted to speak at this gala, First, I was like, what is a gala? And then she explained it, and I said, of course, I would love to do that. Fitting all of my fond thoughts and memories about Miss N into a 5-minute speech is no easy task, and I don't think I've even accomplished it. Many of us would agree that we could be here for days and weeks on end talking about how amazing this person is, how she's a role model, hero, and an idol for not only all of her students throughout the years, but anyone who she has come in contact with. Out of all the words to describe her, idol is the one that stuck out to me. An idol is defined as a person who is greatly admired, loved, and revered. From when I first met her, she was quick to become someone I look up to. I probably first realized this one day of freshman choir class when I accidentally slipped and called her mom. This may have been due to the fact that I practically lived in the choir department, whether it was for musicals, show choirs, madrigals, or just hanging around during study halls. I, like many of my fellow classmates, would spend a large chunk of time in and around the choir room, as I suspect happened in years before and after my high school career. I noticed that in life we surround ourselves with people who we love and look up to, and place ourselves in an environment where we feel safe to be who we are, and that is why the choir room is filled with students every day. Miss N creates not only a great place for kids to learn, but also a welcoming environment for all students who have a passion for and love for music. I have a lot of great memories that I could tell you guys about choir in high school, but something I will never forget is auditioning for show choir before my freshman year of high school. I think there were 7 boys, including myself, who auditioned, and only 6 of us made it in. Yes, I was that one boy who did not make it into show choir. Although a couple of days into the dance camp that year, I got a call saying that a boy dropped and they wanted me to fill the spot. Of course, I accepted and got to work catching up straight away. Needless to say, it was a bit daunting joining the group late, but someone was there to make it so much easier. Miss N was there to guide and help the little awkward freshman named Eric. From that point on, Miss N has been there to teach, inspire, and guide me through music and many other aspects of my life. As some of you may know, the show choir performs each year before a Kids from Wisconsin show in August. After that performance of my sophomore year, I remember Miss N coming up to me and saying, "Someday you will be up there on that stage." 3 years later, what she said came true. I made it into the performing group the summer after my senior year. I would not have made it into this group if it weren't for how she helped me not only become an experienced performer, but also a confident, poised, and determined young adult. A privilege that I have and not many past students have is an opportunity to work with Miss N in a field that we're both passionate about. After I graduated, I got to be assistant choreographer for Silver Dimension, the all-girl JV show choir. 2 years after that, I was choreographer for the group, and now this year I'm choreographing with Tatiana for Silver Connection. I'm not only thankful for the opportunities that she has given me, but extremely lucky that I have her here to teach me how to be a good leader, choreographer, and a role model for the students. Reflecting back at the little awkward freshman that I was, and looking at who I am today, there are some obvious differences. The height, glasses, deeper voice, and the facial hair. But also my ability to sight read music, my ability to lead a group of students, my confidence in and out of music, my willingness to go after what I want, and my understanding of what it means to be a role model to those who look up to me. I would not be who I am today without her being a part of my life. Like I said before, an idol is someone who is loved, admired, and revered. Miss N, you are my idol.
Thank you, Eric. Our last speaker is a former MG Sings board president. There's several board presidents, former presidents, Ms. Gettner. You just seem to keep people around you, Lori. Mary O'Connor is going to be our next speaker.
Good evening, everyone. Those are two hard acts to follow. I offered to make some remarks tonight about Lori and the choir program from a parent's perspective. My daughters are 8 years apart in age, and between the two, I've had a lot of experiences with the choir. I first saw Lori in action on a cold January afternoon in 1996. The Wisconsin Singers were performing in the old MG gym, and I decided to take the girls to see them. Believe me, it was not nearly as nice a venue as this auditorium is. What we later learned was the Silver Connection, the varsity show choir, made an appearance that day as well, and we all really enjoyed both performances. After such a great first experience, we decided to see MG's production of Bye Bye Birdie later that spring, and we all loved that. I think there's some alumni of that in the back there. Lauren, my younger daughter, who was about 5 at the time, became obsessed with Bye Bye Birdie, and she spent the summer borrowing the video from the library over and over. We all knew the soundtrack by heart by the end of the summer. A similar experience happened to my sister and brother-in-law when they brought their young daughter to see Joseph a few years later. I wonder how many other young kids have been turned on to musicals by watching an MG production. In the fall of '97, our older daughter Claire began her freshman year at MG and was in the choir. We went to the first concert that fall, also in the gym, with some sort of soundproofing structure placed behind the choir to control the noise. We were amazed when Lori made her appearance and all the kids stood up and cheered. We'd never seen that reaction to a teacher before. Everybody just went crazy. Both our girls were actively involved in show choir and the musicals throughout high school. We quickly learned that our family schedule would revolve around their practice and performance schedules, and that there were many opportunities for us to get involved, for instance, as my husband did, helping build sets. Lori and often Tadas were always there. I often wondered how they worked in time for their own family, which was quite young at the time. In 2005, as a freshman, my daughter Lauren joined Silver Dimension, the JV show choir. About the same time, I was asked to be vice president and later president of what eventually became MG Sings. That's when I got my real introduction to the choir department. In addition to there now being 2 show choirs, we were also sponsoring our own competition, Silver Stage, which at its peak during my time involved 21 show choirs and all their supporters. Many, many parent volunteers were required to make sure the show choirs and Silver Stage ran smoothly, and the officers were coordinating a lot of what went on behind the scenes. A lot of the same parents were also involved in many aspects of the musical. It was crazy, but a lot of fun. And if I thought Lori was busy before, she had taken it to a whole new level with these new opportunities for kids to get involved. As Lauren and both Eric mentioned, during those years, and I'm sure still today, the choir room served as sort of a living room and home base for a lot of the choir students. It was not unusual to see at least a few of them there almost every time I stopped in. And at times it kind of looked like home as well, with students' belongings scattered all over the place. One of Lori's great strengths has always been her belief that each student should be given the chance to perform to the best of his or her abilities, whether or not they had a lot of talent or experience. If you were willing to put in the effort, she almost always found a space for you. Everyone was encouraged to try out for solos at choir concerts and usually given the chance to perform. Many musicals had large casts, meaning that more students could participate. There were kids in show choir who probably wouldn't have made it at another school. But Lori's attitude was that giving those students a chance to perform was more important than ensuring that the show choir was in first place at every competition. That attitude extended to the students themselves, who were always very supportive of each other and cheered everyone on. Everything was treated as an educational experience. A good example was in 2009, Lauren's senior year, when Lori and Tadas chose Ragtime as the musical. Ragtime focuses on 3 families of very different social backgrounds in early 20th century New York: African Americans, Eastern European immigrants, and upper-class white suburbanites, and how their lives intersect in a changing world. At the same time, there had been some incidents with racial overtones involving students in the school district. Ragtime was a great opportunity to open up a conversation about those issues. Lori pulled together a very diverse cast, including several students who had never been involved with the music program before. It was a very eye-opening experience for everyone involved. We all learned a lot from working with those kids, and some strong friendships were formed. The musical itself was a huge hit. We sold out every performance and made the front page of the State Journal at the beginning of the run with a story about the students' experiences preparing the show and how it tied in with what had been happening in the district and to some extent society at large. Earlier this week, I was talking with Pam Hoffman, who's sitting right over there, who is president of MG Sings right before me. She said that she'd always thought of working with Lori along with Tadas in terms of geometry and algebra, and I thought that summed it up perfectly. Their geometry, able to see the big picture and all the angles and possibilities. I've always been amazed at their ability to pick just the right musical to fit the talents of their current group of students, and the casting is always perfect. We parents, in turn, are algebra, doing the nitty-gritty list sort of stuff necessary to implement the vision. And along the way, we all learned so much about art, music, and dance, and made a lot of good friends. Both my daughters have been gone from MG for quite a while now, but for them, as well as many of Lori's other former students, their experiences in choir are still among their best memories of high school. Lori, we thank you so much for providing so many MG students with a home away from home, great personal and musical experiences, and a way to express their talents. Thank you.
That I know it's not pretty that you have ever gone. If I show it to you now, will it make you run away, or will you stay? Even if it hurts, even if I try to push you, how will you return? And remind me who I really am. Please remind me who I really am.
Everybody's got a dark side. Do you love me and you love mine? Nobody's a picture perfect, but we're worth it. You know that we're worth it.
Will you love me even with my dark side?
Like a diamond from black dust. It's hard to know what can become if you give up. So don't give up on me. Please remind me who I really
Promise me you will stay. Promise me you will stay.
Love me. Everybody's got a dark side. Do you love me? Do you love mine? Nobody's a picture perfect. We're worth it. We're worth it.
Don't run away, don't run away. Don't run away, promise you'll stay.
There are people, and they are publishing my book, and there's a party that they are throwing. And while you've made it very clear that you're not going, I will be going. And that's done. But what's it really about? Is it really about a party, Kathy? Can we please for a minute stop blaming and say what you feel? Is it just that you're disappointed to be touring again for the summer? Did you think this would all be much easier than it's turned out to be? Well then talk to me, Kathy. Talk to me. If I didn't believe in you, we'd never have gotten this far. If I didn't believe in you and all of the 10,000 women you are, if I didn't think you could do anything you ever wanted to, if I wasn't certain that you'd come through somehow. The fact of the matter is, Kathy, I wouldn't be standing here now. If I didn't believe in you, we wouldn't be having this fight. If I didn't believe in you, I'd walk out the door and say, Kathy, you're right. But I never could let that go. Knowing the things about you, I know things when I met you 4 years ago. I knew. It never took much convincing to make me believe in you. Don't we get to be happy, Kathy? At some point down the line, don't we get to relax without some new service to push me yet further from you? If I'm cheering on your side, Kathy, why can't you support mine? Why do I have to feel I've committed some felony, doing what I always swore I would do? I don't want you to hurt. I don't want you to sink. But you know what I think? I think you'll be fine. Just hang on and you'll see. But don't make me wait till you do to be happy with you. Will you listen to me? No one can give you courage. No one can thicken your skin. I will not fail so you can be comfortable, Kathy. I will not lose because you can't win. If I didn't believe in you, and here's where the travelogue ends. If I didn't believe in you, I couldn't have stood before all of our friends and said, this is the life I choose. This is the thing I can't bear to lose. Strip us or trap us, but we refuse to fall. That's what I thought we agreed on, Kathy. If I hadn't believed in you, I wouldn't have loved you at all.
wants to feel the sun. She wants to free you tonight. And you showed her all the good, and you led her through the light. You gave her the sun. It's time to free you tonight. There was a secret chord that David played, and it pleased the Lord. But you don't really care for music, do you? Well, it goes like this: the fourth, the fifth, the minor fall, and the major lift, the baffled king composing hallelujah. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Well, your faith was strong, but you needed proof. You saw her bathing on the roof, her beauty and the moonlight overthrew you. She tied you to her kitchen chair, she broke your thumb and she cut your hair, and from your lips she drew the hallelujah. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Maybe there's a God above, but all I've ever learned from love was how to shoot somebody who'd outthrew you. It's not a cry that you hear at night. It's not someone who's seen the light. It's a cold and it's a broken hallelujah. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah.
Hello, Lori. Nice to see you. Just wanted to say hi, and as you know, I couldn't be there tonight. I'm very sorry for that. Had previous commitments, and also somebody else who's very special to you, we know couldn't be here tonight. So we thought it'd be kind of fun to get together and just put a little surprise package together for you that you can enjoy at this well-deserved honor. I'd like to thank Kevin Gettner and Mr. Nimau for helping us out with this. And some of the jazz band members. We just threw this together one morning and snuck Tatiana in here while you were doing study hall. So hope you enjoy this. Congratulations on the gala and a nice honor, well deserved. It's been a great 27 years working with you. Enjoy this performance by Todd.
Go too far. You're a swimming pool on an August day, and you're the perfect thing to say. And you play it cold, but it's kinda cute. Oh, when you smile at us, you know exactly what you do. Mother, don't pretend that you don't know it's true, 'cause you can see it when we look at you. And in this crazy life, and through these crazy times, it's you, said. You make us sing your every line, your every word, your everything. You're a carousel, you're a wishing well, and you light the kids up when you ring the bells. You're a mystery, you're from outer space. You're every minute of our everyday. And I can't believe that I'm your girl. But when I get to kiss you, gee, it puts me in a world. Whatever comes away, yeah, we'll see it through. And you know that's what your love can do. And in this crazy life, and through these crazy times, it's you, said. You make us sing your every line, your every word, your everything.
I know Lori wants to say a few words, but before she does, the foundation has just a token of appreciation. Always flowers. And this is signed by Patty Schulberg and Laura. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Nice job, students. I'm so proud of you. So proud of you. I'm greatly humbled and honored to be recognized this evening. I'd like to offer my sincerest gratitude to Jennifer Pickle and the Monona Grove Education Foundation. Michael Jackson said the greatest education in the world is watching the masters at work. I want you to know that I did not make these 30-year journey alone, and numerous masters have supported me along the way. The first person was Lawrence Welk. You see, my earliest recollection of performing actually began in our family kitchen on a Sunday evening with a 10-foot portable dishwasher cord that I would use as my microphone as I sang along with the Lawrence Welk Show. So thank you, Lawrence Welk. I grew up on a ginseng farm in central Wisconsin with 5 siblings, and that meant hard work, great food, and lots of people I could look up to. Marathon High School was a great place to graduate from in 1981. And I'll never forget being part of the marching band, jazz band, musicals, and swing choir. We called it swing choir back then. I recently realized I'm a lot like Richard Troyer, my high school choir director. He taught me what it was like to work hard and have very high expectations. It didn't matter that we only had 83 students in my graduating class. We had the finest marching band, swing choir, and musicals in all of Marathon County. But the big move to Madison was very scary for me, and I was definitely a little fish in a big pond. UW-Madison gave me a first-rate education where I received my undergraduate and graduate degrees in music education. Professors Alona Combrink and Robert Fountain were national icons and legends in the field of music, and I know they too shaped me as a teacher. But there was someone else at UW-Madison who made the biggest impact on me personally and professionally. Little did I know that on that cold November day in 1983, that my life would be changed forever. There was a shy boy named Tadas, and he stole my heart when he accompanied my voice lessons at college. And what can I say? The rest is a 32-year history. Tadas, you are by far the most influential person in my 30-year teaching career. You are a musical genius, and you have been an enormous part of the success of the choral department these last 26 years at Monona Grove. Your original compositions, show choir arrangements, accompaniments, and music direction have elevated the standard of excellence at this high school to an unprecedented level. Thank you, Tadas. Thank you. Now, I'm sure you all know that the hours of a music educator are long and exhausting, and I'd like to thank our 3 beautiful children, Mikhailo, Tatiana, and Andre, who put up with their parents' crazy schedules their entire lives. You see, Andre was only 2 weeks old as he slept in his car seat next to me while I conducted the pit orchestra during Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat. It's no wonder all of our children have a passion for music. I also have had and continue to have a lot of support from family members. My wonderful mother, Joanne, my mother-in-law, Donna, my sister, Dawn, and my brothers, Don and Chris, who are all here with me tonight. My accompanist, Farrah Bodden, colleagues, Pat, Carl, and Jeff, and numerous parents who have given thousands of hours volunteering by sewing, cooking, driving, and raising tons of money just so their child could have a wonderful choir experience. I would not be here today without all of that support and encouragement, and I sincerely thank everyone who is here. It means everything to me. But let's admit it. The real reason I'm here tonight and you are here tonight is because of them, the students. Now, I don't have to tell you how important music education is to this community. I also don't have to tell you that music education promotes skills to be successful in life, such as creativity, confidence, problem solving, perseverance, dedication, and accountability. They told you that tonight through their performance. To all current and past students, I'm honored to have been your teacher, and I can only hope that I've made as much of an impact on your lives as you have made on mine. I recently received a card from a student which read like this: Miss N, this year in choir was the greatest. I always look forward to going. Every time I went, I made beautiful memories that will last forever. The effect you have on me will last forever too. Thank you, Miss N. You mean the world to us students, especially to me. Ladies and gentlemen, this is why I teach. In conclusion, I want to say again how grateful I am to be honored tonight, especially knowing that I work every day with teachers and staff who are equally deserving. To Jennifer Pickle and the Education Foundation, thank you for continuing this event, which raises funds for teacher grants, and this year for musical instruments for the music department. It is our hope that with tonight's gift from the foundation, we can begin a campaign for a new concert grand piano and maybe even an acoustical shell for the auditorium. I'd like to share a few words with the people tonight who this is really for, the students. I see trees of green, red roses too. I see them bloom for me and for you. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. The colors of the rainbow, so pretty in the sky, and also on the faces of people going by. I see friends shaking hands, saying, how do you do? But they're really saying, I love you. I hear babies cry. I watch them grow. They'll learn much more than I'll ever know. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Yes, I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Thanks, everybody. was going to say, you don't have to stand because they've got a lot of work to do to put their costumes away.
Thank you so much, Lori. I don't think there's anybody in this auditorium today who hasn't been affected by you in some way. I know personally you've just came into our life and turned it upside down for the better. It's an absolute thrill to be a part of this program, and even more so to watch my children and my children's friends be a part of this program. Some of these girls are like daughters to me because of this program. So thank you so much. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Do you need? Oh. So it's kind of anticlimactic to say that concludes our program. Thank you so much for coming. What a fantastic reason to get together. I know that there are things in our lives that we run around and do, but this foundation and the music department, it's just the best thing that I do personally. So it's wonderful to be able to share that with you all. And now we're just going to wrap up a little business. If you want to check and see, the silent auction winners are going to be, the winners are out. John, where are you, John? I don't remember where I put you. Oh, there you are. John is going to be out in front, and if you want to see if you won, I know somebody outbid me on the seat, so I'm going to have to buy my own auditorium seat. But you can check that out. Thank you so much for coming.